Welcome back to Broken Bobby's Transformation Page. If you are new to the page, in 1990, I became involved in the drug gang world. From 92 to 06, I spent a lot of time incarcerated. I tell these stories to let you know it don't have to be you. If you're young and thinking about trying something, or you're figuring out how to get out, these are my stories of this lifestyle and how it affected me, and eventually I got out and transformed my life. So let's get into today's story. Welcome back to Broken Bobby's Transformation Page. Today I have a special guest. This is my oldest daughter, Ramona, and she's going to talk about what it's like being the child of an addict and how that may have affected her life. So welcome to the channel, Ramona.
Hi, everybody. This is going to be fun.
So, yeah, going back, I was in and out of your life a lot. And maybe you could tell me, what that was like for you.
Okay. So
you have the floor.
Okay. So there's this movie that Clarabella, my daughter, used to watch, and it's a Disney movie, and it's about like there's this girl, and she has all these memories in her head, and then there's these little balls, and they're called core memories. So
okay,
there's when there's a core memory, they get put into these different places, like bad, good, and stuff like that. So I feel like my memories with you, I only have a couple core memories with you from when I was a child.
Okay.
More of my core memories with you was after when I was a teenager.
Right. After I got clean.
Right? Yeah. After you came back into our life, and I was maybe 12, going on 13.
Yeah.
But I don't have horrible core memories with you when I was little. I never understood that you were on drugs when I was a kid. I just understood that you left us. I didn't know why. I was too little to understand why, I was just like,
yeah,
why are you leaving again? I mean, I guess it's good now that I didn't understand why, but
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but so a good core memory that I have is I was really little, and we were at the Carousel Mall, and I think we were having like a visit or something. Mom was letting you visit us. But I remember being real scared of you at the time because we weren't around.
Okay.
But I remember by the time that you were leaving, I didn't want you to leave. Like I was crying, like, no, I don't want you to leave, And that was a core memory. And then the rest of them, being little, I don't want this to sound bad, but being little, the rest of the core memories weren't good. Like they're always of me crying because you're leaving. Like, no, I don't want Daddy to go. And I think that's because when you would leave the spaces, I knew you weren't going to come back for a long time. Like I knew you were going to be back the next day, So it's like, no, don't go,
Right.
But,
yeah, and a lot of times I didn't it wasn't that I didn't want to be around you guys. It was just I was a mess, and the things I were doing were messy, and I didn't want to risk something happening.
Yeah, and
to you guys.
And I know that you were gone because I don't have a memory of you ever being like high or all drugged out, And I guess it's good that you were gone because I don't have a memory of that. I don't know what you ever looked like that, Because you didn't come around when you were using bad, So I guess it's good that you were gone because I don't ever know what that looked like. Like still to this day I don't know what it looks like when you were on drugs because you were gone doing it. You only did it when you were gone. You know what I mean?
Right. And I had had this thing where I thought that money could solve everything. You know, if I hustle enough and I make enough money, I could buy you the toy you wanted, or you know, whatever, whatever it may be. And I just felt like money answered all the questions, even though it didn't. And me not being there, you know, it would have been better for me to be there and be broke than to have missed so much stuff, you know?
Yeah. And then, but then if you think of it from a different perspective, it's like everything happens for a reason. So it's like, would it have been better? You know what I mean? Like, would you be the man you are today if you didn't go through everything that you went through? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I don't think so.
Like, would our life be like it is now, or, you know, like, like, it's just like, that's just how it was supposed to happen. And I'm not saying that because my father was an addict when I was little that my life was horrible. No, I had an amazing mom who made things happen. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
Who took care of everything no matter what. And like, I still was a daddy's girl no matter how many times he came around. He was like a freaking holiday. Yeah. Like, okay, your 4th of July, you came around. I enjoyed the fireworks, and then I don't see you again till next year. Like,
yeah.
But I have the last bad memory of my childhood that I have, the last bad core memory that I have is when, well, it was a great memory until the last day, is when you had came back into our life after Jacob was born. And we had went out to, I don't know if we could name like specific locations, like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this was before Jacob was born, actually, because I ended up going to prison.
No, it was after, because we took the picture on the boat and Jacob was there.
Oh, okay.
With the picture.
Oh, okay.
On the boat.
Right. Okay, yeah, Jacob was really little, though.
Yeah, he was like almost 1 or under 1, maybe a couple months.
Yeah.
So we had went out to San Pedro, and growing up where we grew up our whole life, it was like going to freaking Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
We don't see stuff like that. Like, we don't see the ocean. We don't get on boats. Like, we don't see the pier and, you know, the big bridges and stuff like that. We're like, what the heck? So you just there, and it's like, oh my God, like what? Like, oh, we're looking at schools and like 2-story schools, and like we only see these in the movies. Like what? Like, you know? So
yeah.
You're like, oh well, maybe we could live here, and we're like, oh my God, big dreams, like Disneyland, you know? So
yeah.
But
actually, you guys did live with me down there for a while.
No, we stayed.
If you remember,
I think we stayed there a couple weeks, so we stayed in a motel, right?
Yeah, that's right. I was working construction, yeah.
Yeah. And but the time had come where I don't think we could afford the motel anymore, so we had to come back to reality.
Yeah, they had like a ordinance down there where you couldn't stay more than 30 days or established residence. And we couldn't find another place that would that was long term.
So so our family had came to pick us up, and you said you had to stay behind because you were working or whatever. So So something was like telling me like I didn't want it. I didn't want us to leave you behind, you know. And I was like, and I remember this. It's so stupid and corny. Like, I was a little kid, but I was like, I was pushing it too. I was like, I'm gonna leave my little pink radio with him because he's not gonna leave me, because he's gonna have to bring it back to me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I was like, you want it? Like, I was like, Daddy, you keep this with you so you can bring it back to me, like, when you come back, you know?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want you to again. So I think I left my little pink little boombox with you, and we're leaving in the van, and it was like a freaking slow motion scene in the movie. Like, I'm looking out the back window, like crying, like, and you're like standing in the parking lot, and I'm like, oh. I'm not gonna see him anymore. And then we didn't see you for a while because I think you went to jail again or something.
Yeah, I did. I think I ended up going to prison that time.
Yeah.
And
how long did you go to jail for that time though? It was like
I was sentenced to 2 years, but I had some credits and stuff, and you know, they wanted to put me back in the county, but you know, because I was on probation in Riverside, San Bernardino, and LA, it just made more sense to take the prison term to get out in about the same time, but only have a parole officer rather than 3 probation officers.
Okay.
So, yeah, but that really the thing about that is, after you guys left, I tried to start hustling again because you know it really broke my heart that you guys had to go. Like, our family was back together.
So you wanted us to come back quick.
Yeah, and I wanted to hurry up and make a bunch of money so I could get us a place, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, it wasn't
you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Too hard to.
So, do you feel that the way, you know, the way my presence was growing up, did it change the way you look at people? Do you have trust issues with people or anything like that?
I don't really have trust issues, but I do think that I hold on to things longer than I should because I don't want them to leave me.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think that I try my best to, like, make things work. Like, I throw things under the rug, and, like, I just don't want to be left alone. And I think that does stem from, like, the daddy issues being little. So this is like a therapy session right now, huh? I think we're getting somewhere.
Wow. That's fun. Now, you know, though, the thing is, I think I try extra hard now, and I have for a long time, because I feel like I really let you guys down when you were small. You know, like, I should have been there. I should have. There's a lot of things I should have done. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, I was really mixed up in the drug game, and you know, thinking that I was somebody, when really, you know, if you look at the big picture, I wasn't nobody. I mean, where'd all that money go? You know, I was making a ton of money, but you know, I don't know. Like I said, I'd like to throw money at things because, you know, I'd come by and, like, bring you guys a toy or something, or maybe give your mom a little bit of money, and like, that was supposed to fix everything, you know?
And you want to know what's crazy is that, like, in the moment, you know, the kids get all happy, like, oh, thank you. Like, and then it makes you think, like, oh, yeah, like, I did that, you know?
Right.
But that toy gives them a joy for maybe like an hour, and then you're gone again. You know? So it's like.
Exactly.
But I mean.
Yeah.
I think that when you're a little kid, I think it affects you more when you're getting older, like maybe teenage years. Thank God you were there for those years, you know?
Right.
Because when you're little, you can be distracted so easily, you know, like with the toy or with money, or, you know? But I think it affects you more in the long run than it does at that moment when you're super little. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you're super little, you don't really know what's going on. But I think it has an overall effect on you more than in that moment.
Yeah.
You know?
So that was part 1 of an interview I did on StreamYard with my daughter, Mona. There's another part that's going to be coming, but one of the reasons I wanted to put this out there was, a lot of times when you're in your addiction, you don't think about the harm that you do to others. You just think that you're screwing your own life up, but really there's so many people that you hurt. And, you know, I can't stress enough, if you're new into recovery, you know, you can't necessarily do it for others. You have to do it for yourself. But you know, you have to think about the effect that you're having on others. That was one of the things that really helped me to stick with sobriety. And, you know, I know it can work for you guys as well. So be looking forward to part 2. Hopefully I'll have that up in the next day or two. And don't look at the mountain. Just start climbing.